Sham's Makeup Artistry, and if this is the very first time you're tuning into my channel, my name is Shamala. Today I'm doing a different kind of video. I'm doing a tutorial trying out some of the products that I recently got myself. So some of the products are pretty new, so I'm just testing it out in front of the camera with you guys. And let's just get into it, or else the tutorial is going to get way too long. So definitely leave me all your comments down on the comment box below if you have any questions for me. And I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial together with me. So today is going to be slightly different. I'm going to do a talk through tutorial trying out some of the new product that I recently purchased. Some of it I may have already started using them, and some of it are still new. So I just want to share with you guys my thoughts on them while I'm using it on the camera itself with you guys. So the very first thing that I'm going to apply over my face is the FARSALI Unicorn Essence. I've mentioned that I like this as a primer. I don't see how it works as a serum as of yet, but I'm just going to apply this on the hands. I'm not going to apply it direct on my face area. I'm quite bad at controlling it from dripping everywhere, so I'll rather just apply this way over my face area. I do have my mirror here, so if I'm looking here, I'm actually looking at my mirror. What I noticed is this particular essence doesn't really help to hide my pores that I have around here and also slightly around here. So I like using my Milk Makeup Face Primer just around those areas to cover up the pores and to so-called give a little bit more flawless looking skin. So I just like dapping it over my skin instead of like dragging the product in. So once that is done, we're going to apply the foundation. So the foundation I'm going to use today is a new foundation, and it's by Wet n Wild. I do have two shades. One of it is Coca and the other one is Toffee. Toffee looks really light, so I'm not sure how it's going to apply, but when I was trying out Coca at the back of my hands, it does turn a little bit red. So let's see if we need to blend it in with these two colors to get my skin tone for the foundation. So I'm just going to apply this like this over my face. It does have an applicator which looks like this. So I'm just going to dab it over my skin. Just going to place this wherever I need it. I'm not very sure if this is a full coverage foundation, but I kind of feel that it is pretty thick. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend this foundation in. And then just going to dab it on my face area. It does look a little bit red on my skin, but then it kind of also looks like it matches my skin tone. So let's see. Maybe I should just move the mirror in front of me because it's in the side and I kind of lose my focus. So I'm just moving my stuffs over, and then let's do this in front of you guys. It does look pretty red, doesn't it? It does look like it's going to look very orangey kind of shade on my skin tone. So I probably need to blend it a little bit to get my skin tone. But I do like how the coverage looks like. It's a very beautiful finish. It does have a nice finish. Being a drugstore foundation, it does have a very nice finish to it, but this color is the thing that I'm a little bit doubtful. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of the shade Toffee and just blend it over my face area so that it doesn't look too orangey or red. The only pain of getting foundation to match my shade is just annoying. Even with the, I believe it's the LA colors or something, the foundation, I had to purchase so many times to get my shade, yet it doesn't work out for me. Like the deeper shade is like still way too light for my skin tone. I still don't feel that happy with the foundation. It still does look a little bit red on me, but what do you guys think? Definitely let me know. And I'm just gonna blend it in. But it does have a pretty good coverage, like a very nice coverage, and it doesn't feel, it feels tacky on the skin, but it doesn't like cling on to any dry patches or anything like that. So let's adjust it later with concealers or something. Let's move on to the eye makeup. So I'm going to use my newly found favorite Air Petrol eyeshadow primer by Benefit. So I'm just going to apply this on my eye area. So this primer does help the eyeshadows to stay pretty well on the eyelids. It does like help it does help the eyeshadows to stay pretty well. And the only thing is it does get messy, like when you try to get the product out. I'm gonna apply the other side of my eye. I'm not sure what eye look I'm going for. I'm just going to try out a new eyeshadow palette. And the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to try today is by NARS. This is their loaded eyeshadow palette. It's a new eyeshadow palette that I got myself. I'm sure it's already available on Sephora website. I did see it on the website. So this is how the eyeshadow palette looks like. Very much wearable shades for everyday kind of eye look. And I'm going to use this brush right here. So it's a tablet blending brush by Lux Cosmetics. So I'm just going to apply this particular shade right here just as a blending shade for my eyeshadows. So I'm just going to apply that over my crease area. Just slightly blending all over my eye area just to even out the primer that we applied earlier. And on the other side of my eye. So once that's blended out, I'm going to take a neutral shade which is right here. This looks more like a matte shade, so I'm just going to apply it with the same brush on my crease area as a transition shade. It's pretty pigmented. The shade is really pigmented. When I was watching this on my What's Hot in Makeup Mondays video, I was really happy with this eyeshadow because it's really well pigmented and it's very easy to blend these eyeshadows in. So doing the same on this side of my eye. Have you guys been trying any new eyeshadow palettes that you've been enjoying? I've been seeing the Too Faced one around, like Pretty Natural or something palette, but it doesn't really impress me. But if you guys have tried it out, definitely let me know. So I'm just doing the same on this side of my eye, just applying this. And if you have also tried out any new foundations, also let me know. I'm looking forward to try the Giorgio Armani one and also the Stellar Cosmetic. I think they're pretty new in Sephora, so I'm really wanting to try those foundations. And I'm just going to intensify the outer corner using this deep brown shade. I'm pretty much going to use the same brush to do this blending stuff because this is more of like an everyday kind of look, so using a same brush just make it much easier. So I'm just blending this on the outer corner and then also over my crease area just to give it a little bit of definition, not too much, nothing really dramatic going on with this eye look today. So I'm just trying out these shadows, but I really like how this shadows blends in. Like I mentioned, they are really well pigmented. So I'm going to pick up the shade right here, which looks like a silvery kind of shade, silvery taupey kind of shade. I'm going to apply that. But it does apply very soft, so when you're picking it up, and you can actually see all the excess over the palette itself. The color does have some fallouts. So you can see how beautiful this shade is. It blends in so beautifully. I'm doing the same on this side. By the way, it does come with a mirror. I can actually use this, but I'm more comfortable using my own mirror right here. So these shades are pretty pigmented. So I'm just going to apply a little bit just to intensify the look. Now I'm going to use another brush to blend in the crease area with the same neutral brown shade right here. So I'm just going to intensify the crease area so that it looks much more even and blended out. Doing the same on this side of my eye. So now that we are done with part of the eye look, I'm just going to apply some eyeliner and then we will move on from there. So I'm going to use my... So once we have applied the eyeliner, and then we'll move on to the rest of the face and then back to the eye just to get it done. So I'm going to use my INGLOT number 77 to apply my eyeliner. So I'm going to use my Sigma eyeliner brush. It's a mini brush. So I'm just going to apply the eyeliner. So when it comes to eyeliner, I always get out of focus, so please excuse that. But let's try. Like I mentioned, I went out of focus, so excuse that part of it. I'm going to do the same on this side of my eye. I'm just going to apply. This eyeliner is really good, like it goes very pigmented and it stays put really black. So I'm done with applying the eyeliner, out of focus, so I'm sorry with that part of it. So let's move on to the rest of the face, or else it's going to get really long. So I'm just going to carry on with the rest of the face. I'm going to apply a little bit of corrector from Cover FX, and this is the corrector in the shade Orange, I believe, and I just like applying this a little bit on the under eye area. And the inner corners right here, and on the mouth area where I do have some discoloration. And I'm going to use my Sephora brush just to blend this in. Also blending it in on the under eye area. And as usual, I'm going to use my Pure Cosmetics. This is their dark ink concealer that I like using it over my under eye area. Also on the side of my mouth, on the area where I applied the corrector, just to blend in the shade. I'm going to use the brush to blend them in first before I go in with my beauty blender. I really feel that the foundation pulls so orange on the camera. So let me know if you guys feel the same. But I definitely need to blend it a little bit more with a lighter concealer, because or else it's looking really orange. So once it's done, I'm using a lighter concealer by NARS. This is their matte concealer, soft matte concealer in the shade Biscuit. So I'm going to use the same brush to apply this particular concealer on the side of my mouth, all the area that I applied the concealers earlier. So I definitely need to blend it with my beauty blender because I'm not comfortable just using brushes when it comes to my makeup. I always need to blend it in with my beauty blender to get my own like comfortable kind of blending. And of course, after I put in my concealers, I need to blend in my eyeshadows again. They definitely like disappeared a little bit. So you can see I'm trying to go in a triangle motion so that the foundation can blend in and it doesn't look that bad. But I still feel that I probably need to get a shade that I can blend in, which will go well with my exact skin tone. Once that's done, I'm using my beauty blender just to blend this in. I kind of feel like this foundation does dry in like very quickly, but it does feel a little bit tacky on the skin. I'm not so sure how comfortable it's going to make me feel when I'm out, but I'll definitely update you guys. So I'm going to use my Becca. This is the blurring, soft light blurring powder. So I'm just going to set my entire face using this powder. Just very lightly setting it. Because my skin is more of like a combo to oily skin, I tend to skip setting it too much or else it looks very dry. And I probably skip setting my under eye area too because this concealer does set in by itself, and when it's dry I definitely want to skip that. Let's do a little bit of contouring using the Jessie's Girl contouring palette. I'm just picking up the last two shade, which is right here, just to contour my face. I kind of feel like this is a very decent contour palette, very affordable as well. Now let's apply some bronzer. I'm using my ever favorite Hourglass. This is their Radiant Bronze Light, and I'm using my Tom Ford brush to apply the bronzer. And for the blush, I'm using my Marc Jacobs. This is also pretty new. It's their Lines and Last Night blush. Just dabbing the product and packing it on my cheek area. And for the face area, I'm just going to clean it up a little bit using the Kat Von D Lock It setting powder. Just a tiny little bit. I'm using my powder brush just to brush it off. Like, I do not let them bake because it makes my skin look very dry. Let's move on quickly to the highlighter. So let's move on quickly to the highlighter. I'm using the Wet n Wild Crown My Canopy. This is the highlighter, which looks like this. Using my Morphe highlighter brush. This is the first time I'm trying this. So it's a beautiful highlighter. That is a beautiful highlighter, and let's apply this on this side. You can see how beautiful it sunk in into the skin. It is really beautiful. This is what I personally like about highlighters. I don't like them feeling very chunky, but I like them to sink in into the skin. Alright, I definitely love this highlighter, so check out the Crown by My Canopy. Now let's move on to the eyebrows. I'm just going to probably fast forward this part. So I'm using my Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. So my brows done. I'm just going to finish up my eye makeup. I'm using my MAC eye pencil in Costa Rich. So once I'm done, I'm already tearing up, so that's not too good. I'm going to use my NARS eyeshadow palette. I'm taking the neutral shade right here, just blending my lower lid. I really like this eyeshadow palette. You guys got to check this out. Definitely if you love neutral shades. As an highlight shade, I'm going to use the very first one right here. It reminds me of their Albatross highlighter. So I'm just going to apply this on the brow bone. And the inner corners. Done with that, I'm just going to apply my mascara. I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I'm going to finish my entire look with the Wet n Wild lip color in Give Me Mocha. I'm not sure if I need a lip liner, but let's just try applying this. So this is their Mega Last Liquid Cat Sweet Matte Lipstick. Doesn't really pick up a lot of product, I think because of the wand. What do you guys think? It doesn't really apply that well. Not so much of my favorite shade. I'm just going to use my Grwm Beauty. This is their Cocoa Latte. It's also their lip cream. So I'm just going to apply this on the top. And the Wet n Wild one got all over my teeth. So I'm done with the makeup. I'm just going to use my PIXI Glow Mist just to spritz it so that it blends in my makeup. And I also like using my SKINDINAVIA makeup finishing spray a little bit.